am I? Everyone, and welcome to another Weekend at Loka's. Today it's finally time to go deep behind enemy lines, pulling espionage missions and blacker than black operations in during the Cold War. Wait a second, this isn't the Cold War. This is Modern Warfare. What the heck has happened? Well,
the alpha ended.
Yes. And just like last week, I'm joined by Prentice1215.
So you have a problem when your dev team, when trying to come up with a name for your game, says the numbers, Mason, what do they mean? And decide that you've had enough games to where you can drop the number in your title completely and just add a subtitle. So we went from Black Ops 4 to now Black Ops Cold War. Because I guess calling it Black Ops 5 was too confusing.
And also joining since last week, we have Daxtercorp HD.
I'm tired.
Aren't we all?
I think we all are. So yeah, as we've been alluding to, with because if you're watching this, you are probably aware of the fact that Black Ops Cold War had its alpha on the PS4 during this weekend.
Exclusive on PlayStation 4.
And you know, like most weeks, whenever the days are passing by and I'm thinking, alright, what am I gonna play for Weekend at Loka's this week? Is it gonna be this or that? And then the alpha was announced. Well, that seemed like a pretty good thing to play. It's new, fresh and free, and also for an upcoming game. So sure, why not? And that was the plan until like I want to say
15 minutes ago.
Yeah, 15 minutes ago, when I realized that the alpha had ended today.
You missed it by like an hour.
Yeah. So we were supposed to play that while discussing what we thought about the alpha and whatnot, maybe the game as a general, but since the alpha is over, we'll instead play Modern Warfare, since well, all three of us have it. It's also COD, and also I guess the good thing in quotation marks kind of about the alpha ending is that we do play Reinfected Ground War live on air.
Not again.
Let's go! Woo! Love Infected.
Which is also funny considering it's essentially zombie mode for this game. And Black Ops Cold War also has a zombie mode, albeit well more developed, since it's its own thing. This is more of a little fun mode, or as I like to call it, the discount Days Gone mode.
Yes.
But yeah, as I was saying, we're gonna play this game. We're gonna discuss the alpha. So my first question is, how much were you able to play of the alpha?
An hour? I think I played like an hour, maybe an hour and a half.
I played every game mode and every map.
So we have someone that played a little bit of it. We have someone who played, well, more of it. I played a bit of it, like an hour or two or something, but maybe closer to 3 hours, come to think of it. But only the regular modes. I had completely forgotten about the combined arms mode until I was about to shut down and had played for a while. So, oh, excuse me. So I haven't gotten a chance to play that since, well, I was under the impression the alpha would last a bit longer. So I didn't play any of that yesterday, nor earlier today. And oh boy, I mean, I could tell there were some differences while playing the alpha, but it's certainly more noticeable now while getting back to Modern Warfare. So I guess that's maybe the best place to start. It sure does feel different.
Mm-hmm. And that's not a good thing, I don't think.
Yeah.
Come on.
So in regard, because one of the things I do think is great about this game is, I mean, I was about to say how smooth it plays, but to be fair, I think most COD games play relatively smooth, at least for the time they're being released, and this game is kinda not an exception to that, but also it kinda is, considering they had developed this whole new engine that with a completely different movement and all that, so it feels very smooth. It, I think in terms of just movement, they finally caught up with Battlefield, and that's.
Oh my gosh, we have kill streaks equipped here. I just now noticed that.
So that's one of the great things about this game. But as we said, Black Ops Cold War definitely feels different, and I feel in terms of movement and animations and just the general feel, it does feel like a step backwards. Which, I don't know if I should say I'm surprised by that per se, considering we know some of the behind the scenes problems with that. But at the same time, it's not necessarily rough, but it does take some getting used to, especially coming after this game.
Yeah, I mean it's that. I mean, my first impression, which is not good, obviously, is and I had to catch myself because I'm like, hold on, you've been playing this for 3 seconds, let's not jump to conclusions yet. I loaded into my first match, and I just moved forward, and I said out loud, "Oh, this sucks."
So that's not a good sign.
Which not necessarily fair, because like I said, I literally just started. It's like, okay, it's different. That doesn't necessarily mean it's bad. Let's
Be advised, friendly position airstrike inbound.
Let's give it a little bit of, let's give it some playtime. Maybe it's, maybe you'll get used to it. Ah, Daxter, I hate you.
Wait, I killed you?
Yeah, you got me.
And
that was completely unintentional.
And that's the beauty of Infected.
Yeah.
Let's see if you can find
me. So I told myself, all right, let's give it some time. Let's play with it a little bit, and then make some judgments on whether or not it's good or bad. I wouldn't necessarily say that the new movement is bad. It when you get used to it, it feels good, but it does definitely feel like a step backwards.
Yeah.
It feels like, for all intents and purposes, it feels like Black Ops 4. It's a good movement system. It doesn't feel bad, but Infinity Ward has made so many improvements with this game in a lot of ways. I know that there are some people out there that don't like this game that much, but it's like that comes down to map design and stuff like that. but I don't think the movement system and some of the quality of life things that they did, like this game is gorgeous. Let's just put it out there. This game is gorgeous. It looks good. The animations are so good. I mean, just people walking and running. When you have the operators. When you go to customize your operator and select which one you want to play out of stuff, that all looks fantastic. I mean, it's just an overall really good looking game. So for then Treyarch to be using a different engine that is not this engine, you would think that they would just be using the same engine, but no, they're using a modified version of the Black Ops 4 engine, which is weird. And then of course there's some of the development problems, which we'll probably get into. Yeah, I got them. Then we'll probably get into that here in a minute. Some of the development problems this game has obviously gone through, but I wonder if the final product is going, because of some of these problems we were discussing, if the final product is going to feel rushed. So I'll leave my thoughts there for now, and I guess we can pick it up with Daxter.
Oh, is it my turn?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. I did not play Black Ops 4, so I did not know what the movement felt like.
Let's have another.
I liked it. It felt quick, but it didn't have that stupid wall run or any of those exosuit things. That is not my favorite thing of the franchise, to say the least. I believe it fits more so in like Titanfall, in my opinion, than it does in COD. But I enjoyed the movement. I liked the sliding. I just liked how fast the game felt. It's weird. This one
fast.
This one feels strangely enough jank at times in its movement. Now that I'm playing it, but I like it still. Let's see what else Black Ops had. Okay, so I guess I was the only one to play Combined Arms, correct?
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to play it.
The map in like Russia was bad. It wasn't that good.
Is that the snowy one? Because I've seen some gameplay. Is that the snowy one? Okay.
Yep. The one, however, on the boat is fantastic. Because you can swim in the water and defy all laws of physics and shoot your gun at the same rate of fire and still have the same range underwater as you did above water. And that opens up so many more possibilities.
Yeah, that's one of those we have to it's not realistic at all, but we have to take some creative liberties here to make a fun video game development things that happens.
Yeah, and that's fair.
I said out loud to myself, why don't more games do this? Why don't I see that using water as a way to approach a new problem, or to approach a problem with an enemy?
Potentially because it's harder to perhaps, maybe, I don't know. Because you have to, because you can't just drop someone into water, and you have to change up the animations. You have to essentially alter the. No, so I mean, I'm not a game developer, but I'm trying to think of how one would maybe potentially develop for water. You would have to change the gravity, because you're more floating in the water because you're floating. Because it's like I wonder if water is actually a texture in the game, or if it's a texture in the game, or if it's more of a cosmetic screen thing that then they change environmental stuff for the water, and then that's what makes it seem like you're in the water. So again, I don't know how games are developed, but that's just a question. So that may be why that doesn't happen as much in video games, because it takes a little bit more effort to do those environmental changes.
I can see that. I just thought it was a fun mechanic that they added in. It just made the map layout a bit more interesting, as though the middle capture point is on some water, and you can't go all the way down to the bottom and still capture. You have to be at the top. You have to make some sacrifices, and your vision is impaired whenever you're in the water.
Yeah.
Not terribly.
As a quick note, water you could also swim in water in Black Ops 4.
And
Okay.
And in 3, that's correct.
But how
So,
many maps
yeah,
took advantage of that? Like, legitimately
not
took advantage
many.
of.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I can only think of 2 or 3 maps from Black Ops 3. There might be 1 or 2 more, but that's how many comes to mind immediately.
Yeah.
I can only think of 1, mainly because I didn't waste money on the DLC.
If I didn't have that stupid carbine, Loka, you would have been mincemeat.
Oh, that was 100% worth it.
I also, as dumb as this sounds, I love the wild card coming back. The wild card perks. I don't know how you guys feel about that.
I didn't have time to dig into the class customization or really look at the perk systems or anything, so I have no idea really what you're talking about.
Okay, so
I'm not
you know the
familiar with.
wild cards from not the perk 1, perk 2, perk 3. It's the card that you can get in starting in Black Ops 2. Like, give yourself start yourself up with additional ammo and yeah. So they had that one. They had that one was called Danger Close. They had one that was essentially Gunfighter, so 2 primaries instead of it being a perk. I'm trying to think what else. I really only used that one. I'm actually blanking out. I'd have to take a look at the screenshot, but they added that back. What was that noise? Oh, it's just a friendly.
Yeah, I do feel it's probably worth pointing out that there wasn't that many perks or wild cards in the alpha, of course, since, well, it's the alpha.
Yeah, no, there should be more.
But what I did take a look of it, I did actually like that, and that's I think especially since the wild cards just opens up more options and possibilities with your classes. And even looking at how some of the perks were placed, there were some there I thought, oh yeah, that's actually kind of nice. And in some cases, maybe even something I would have preferred they did in Modern Warfare with some of the perks. But then again, like, there wasn't that many perks available, so it's also hard to say. But I do like the wild cards.
What else? What else was there that was
while
different?
also being this fairly basic create a class as opposed to the pick 10, although I do think the pick 10 has some merits. I don't know how you feel about the pick 10 system.
I'm not a fan. I think it worked fine in Black Ops 2 because that was the first time they utilized it. But then they just kind of became over reliant on the pick 10 system and it just led way to lazy development because